These people are never going to learn. After getting humiliated by the Russia hoax, Maddow's back to spreading conspiracies.
And MSNBC wonders why they keep tanking in the ratings. I'm surprised they still have this woman on when she's been spreading misinformation for the better half of the past 5 to 6 years, ever since the world event. And this is the problem with opinion and emotional-based journalism versus factual-based journalism. And if you're unaware of what I'm talking about, take a look, because she'll explain it for me.
Well, now, as the top campaign donor to U.S. President Donald Trump, Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Since I think the only supposedly armored production vehicles Tesla makes are these hilarious trucks, this really appears to be the State Department announcing, putting in writing that it's going to spend $400 million buying these paperweights from Elon Musk. This is a line item in the latest procurement forecast for the U.S. Department of State.
Now you may say, how is this even allowed? How can Trump give Elon a $400 million contract when he's now managing Doge, he's cutting spending here, he's cutting spending there, but then he's awarding himself with this kind of a contract? Well, it's because Trump didn't do that. It was actually Biden. And if Rachel would actually do some research, as well as all these other outlets who reported on the exact same thing with the exact same headlines saying Musk awarded himself a $400 million contract, they'd know that that wasn't true. And Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks actually fact checks her on this, and this is what she had to say.
So this is where the story actually takes some twists and turns. And I would venture to say that the producers over at the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC were fully aware of the dates involved on this procurement documentation. So bear with us as we go through the details. Ryan Grimm of Dropsite News first reported on this contract yesterday, but what Grimm reported is a little bit different from what Rachel Maddow reported. So let me give you the relevant portion of Ryan Grimm's reporting here, where he says that the State Department's procurement forecast, revised as of late December 2024, lists Tesla as the recipient of the largest expected contract, with Marco Rubio's department planning to buy $400 million worth of armored Tesla. The procurement forecast is listed as having been modified on December 13th, 2024, a month after Donald Trump's election. It was a month after Donald Trump's election, but it was obviously before he had been inaugurated, before he was officially in office. In other words, the State Department would have issued that contract under Biden's administration. So I'm sure Rachel Maddow is going to correct that on a subsequent broadcast. I can't wait to see it.
Yes, one would naturally assume that if you put out a false statement or incorrect information, you would want to correct that later on. So we will get to that correction from Rachel in a second, but let's just let Anna finish on what she was saying here.
The Tesla contract is actually now on hold. Dropsite News then updated their reporting accordingly, and they also reported that the new information about how the contract came to be, they say that the acquisition plan was set in motion by the Biden administration last year as part of a move to convert the Bureau of Diplomatic Security's fleet of roughly 3,000 armored vehicles into zero-emission electric vehicles by 2023.
So clearly, she got the date wrong. She got which administration it was that was going to supply this contract wrong. The contract isn't even active right now. And Elon didn't give it to himself. He was the only one who was actually willing to participate in this contract. And so he was awarded it. But it's on pause. But let's hear what Rachel has to say in regards to this correction of hers.
Last night, we reported on this fiscal year 2025 procurement prospectus from the U.S. State Department. It is dated December 2024 during the Biden administration. This is after the November election, but before Trump was sworn in. And we reported on this last night because the single most expensive line item in the whole prospectus for the State Department's prospective purchases in 2025 was a $400 million line item for, quote, armored Tesla production units. $400 million worth of armored Teslas. Tell me more, edgelord of government efficiency. Last night, as we and numerous other news organizations reported on Elon Musk's company Tesla being in line for what appeared to be a gigantic payout from the U.S. State Department, during our show, in fact, that line item was changed on the State Department website so that it no longer says Tesla. And they took away the part that says Tesla. They changed it so it now says armored electric vehicles. Now, the State Department prospectus did not reflect a contract to Tesla for $400 million. Rather, this was a prospectus showing that the government, the State Department, was interested in making this kind of a purchase for that kind of a price tag. And that, of course, would be a huge deal for Tesla. That would be a really big deal if the State Department went ahead with that plan. It's like an important thing to know about what Tesla had been expecting they might be in line for from the government in fiscal year 2025, particularly while the CEO of Tesla is at this very moment moonlighting at a weird quasi-governmental job in which he is cutting huge swaths of spending.
Well, correction, he's actually cutting huge swaths of useless spending. Secondly, I'm going to let Jesse Waters correct you on this aspect.
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Very interesting that you never mentioned Biden here in your correction. You wanted to emphasize that they changed the word from Tesla just to electric vehicle. You emphasized that. I will give you credit where you said that the contract wasn't actually active, but $400 million would have been a big contract regardless if it was Tesla or not. Any other electric vehicle company who got that contract, which nobody else stepped forward for, only Musk did, they would have had that $400 million. Would you have been reporting on it the same way? Or is it only because you have a disdain for Elon Musk, for Donald Trump? Like, this is what I'm talking about this emotional journalism or this opinion-based journalism. What does it serve? Nobody really appreciates it. Because when you get stuff wrong, you're not even willing to admit it. Just like when CNN did that to Joe Rogan, where they kept emphasizing that he was taking horse dewormer or horse paste, when they had the actual facts that he was taking ivermectin, which is soutly used for humans mainly, and then you can use it for veterinarian aspect. They knew he was using the human version, but then kept pushing this whole horse dewormer, horse paste. Like, this is the problem with the mainstream media, and this is also why more and more people are going to other avenues to get their information. You guys can keep it up because you're going to be gone very soon.